Hi everyone. The borough of Manhattan in New York City has like a million avenues, and the good majority of them have subway stations and their own subway lines. For example, 2nd Avenue has the Q train and the F train, the 2nd Avenue subway and 2nd Avenue station on the F train. 3rd Avenue has loads of stations that I can't even think of right now. 4th Avenue has Union Square on the Lexington line and the respective connections. 5th Avenue has loads of stuff. 6th Avenue has the entire BDFM. 7th Avenue has the Broadway line, the 1, 2, and 3. And 8th Avenue has the AC and E trains. I think Avenues 9 and 12 are all buses since they're all significantly narrower, but I don't know. I forgot. A major transit corridor in the city that has basically no subway service is First Avenue, which is predominantly buses. First Avenue runs from Houston Street in Lower Manhattan all the way up to Harlem, like over by 127th Street. And in terms of transportation, it's dominated by around 10 to 12 bus routes. There's the M9, the M15, the M86, the M31, M106, M116, M196, and 125, etc., etc. They all predominantly use First Avenue, but it didn't always used to be that way because the IRT, now part of the MTA subway system, used to have a line called the 2nd Avenue Elevated, which ran on First Avenue for a good majority of its route until that was demolished. And now the only train station that remains on First Avenue is on the Canarsie line. So let's go check that out.
This is the train to 33rd Street.
Alrighty, now that I'm at 14th Street, Path Station, I gotta walk over to the L train, which is also known as the BMT's Canarsie line, to get to the only station on First Avenue. It is extremely windy in here. L train. Oh, great. The L train seems to run every 5 minutes today. Oh, not a problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next Brooklyn bound L, please stand by the platform edge.
I hate how the L trains are so short. This is where we're headed today. Just 2-3 stops. This is it. Well, I guess this is it. This is like the only train station on the entirety of First Avenue, and honestly, it doesn't really look like it's that much because at least it has these things. It has departure boards. It's fairly modern. It was built over 100 years ago, and it sees around 6 million riders annually. I'll put the ridership data on screen now, like whatever it is. This is the last subway station on First Avenue because, as I said before, the IRT used to have a line called the 2nd Avenue Elevated that used to run along First Avenue beyond Houston Street. I don't know where that went. Now this station is just your fairly normal subway station with 2 tracks. Serves one line at all times. The L train runs like every 5 minutes through here to get to like Brooklyn and downtown towards 8th Avenue. As far as I know, it's not really accessible. I do like these tiles though. I do really like these tiles. There's much less to say about the station than I thought. I thought it would be a little bit nicer, but That's it. As I said before, the L train comes through here like every 5 minutes, so it's really the only subway train to serve First Avenue. Beyond this station, it's literally all buses. Like, there's the M15 Select bus, which I think is America's busiest bus route by far. There's like several crosstown routes like the M50, the M72, the M96, the M106, the M116, etc. That's really it. This is the only subway station on the entire First Avenue. And it's not bad, but there's not that much to say about it either. Because, you know, it's just your fairly normal run-of-the-mill station. It is accessible, however. I just noticed that there's an accessibility sign, so the elevators are probably at the other side of the platform. And, yeah. And it has announcements, like all L train stations do. So yeah, this is I think this is the L train's last station in Manhattan. Then it goes under the East River into Brooklyn or whatever body of water it is. But yeah, there's really not much to say about the station. I was low-key expecting something a bit nicer, but this is just what we get. I think during rush hours, I think the L trains run every 2 to 3 minutes, which is impeccable frequency. But yeah, okay, so the ridership metrics for this station is that in 2024 it got 6,266,103 riders in that whole year, which makes it the 35th busiest station on the entire system out of 423 stations. This station has connections to the M14A and D Select bus service BRT routes, along with both variants of the M15, the regular M15 and the M15 Select bus service. Yeah, this station has pretty good connectivity. It at least looks nice. It looks good enough for a subway station. And, yep. The only train station on First Avenue, it's actually near a lot of good places to eat. This right here is where the M15 runs down First Avenue. And, we actually get some great views of the Lower East Side. But yeah, it's near a lot of good places to eat. Me and my friend here are actually going to go get shawarmas, and I've never had that before in my life, so new experience unlocked. For the only train station on First Avenue, it certainly has a lot of good bones, like, say, frequent service, clean to some extent. It looks nice. It has great connectivity with other transit services, like this one over here. And, yeah, it pretty much wraps it up. And for all the car foamers, look, there's a Rolls Royce. Alright, that's pretty much all I have to say. You can click off now. Bye.